Well, the Seahawks season has ended a few weeks ago, but I think it's time to revisit some of the wins they had because they had 10 wins and rank each of them from 10 to 1. Let's talk football. All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Round Sports Podcast, where sports are everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are doing a revisit of the Seahawks 2024-25 NFL season, as we are ranking each of their 10 wins from the season from 10 to 1. Now, I put these in random spots. So, the best game will, of course, be number 1, in my personal opinion. Then, of course, the middle one will be a game that I thought was really key. Then the last one, of course, is the game that has no meaning. But man, the Seahawks season was a really good ride this year, and the Mike Macdonald era has already kicked off to a really good start. So before we get started into this video, if y'all do enjoy this video, please be sure to do me a favor and smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, let's rank each of these wins. Also, before we get started into this video, I did want to make a special announcement. As of this next offseason, I will be getting a new series called the NFC West meeting for each week. The earliest date that this will predate is the pre-draft, before the draft happens. I already have shirts for the other three NFC West teams, and that series will be starting up this offseason a little after the Super Bowl. But I hope you all enjoy this video. For now, let's get this thing started. So starting us off at number 10, of course, it's the game that had no meaning. The Los Angeles Rams win in Week 18 when they beat them 30-25. Now, I put this at number 10 because there was no meaning in this game. The Rams had already clinched the division the week prior with the Falcons losing to the Commanders, which clinched the Commanders' playoff berth and then also eliminated the Seahawks in the process. But this one was against the Garoppolo, the Rams' backup and reliever for the team. So this game, I really liked the way the team finished off the high note. But since there was nothing to play for, that is why I have the Week 18 game against the Rams at number 10. Coming in at number 9, the ninth best win of the season. I don't think we really need to talk about this one. The 6-3 win over the Chicago Bears in Week 17 on Thursday Night Football. This game was so freaking ugly. I watched a little bit of the first half, but I knew if I watched the second half, I was going to get a little ticked off. But, man, that game, pretty much it was back and forth on who wanted to lose the game more. Pretty much, and the Bears ended up losing it. So that helped the Seahawks, but they would later on figure out that they would learn that they are eliminated from the playoffs, then would win their final game of the season against the Rams. But that's why I have that Week 17 game at number 9. Coming in at number 8, you got the Week 3 game when they were on their undefeated streak against the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins, they were playing without Tua, so they got outscored 24-3. The reason I put it at number 8 is because Tua was out. Now, if Tua was in there and they won by that much, that would have been a big statement to some people in the NFL. But since it wasn't Tua, that kind of was like a little bit of a break for the Seahawks, like a little mini bye week. So the Dolphins, they, of course, ended up losing that game, which is why I have the Week 3 game against the Dolphins at number 8. Coming in at number 7, you got one of the two games against the Cardinals. You got the earliest one, the Week 12 game against the Cardinals, where the Seahawks won 16-6. Now, of course, this was the lead of the division at that time. The Seahawks ended up beating Kyler Murray as they have done in recent years. and they've been doing a really good job and pretty much we're the daddy to Kyler Murray. So this win, I really liked it, but because it was a low scoring affair and we won by a 10 double digit margin because it was so close, that's why I put the week 12 win against the Cardinals at number 7. Coming in at number 6, you had one of the many ugliest games, the 23-20 overtime win against the New England Patriots. The Seahawks went into Foxborough. Of course, it was the battle of the first-year head coaches. Of course, Gerard Mayo is now fired. And Mike Vrabel will now take over. But this game was so bad. It was not that good. The Seahawks, they were able to come back in that game. I did not like that they were not able to stop the run for some parts of the game, especially against Rushmore Stevenson. But this is why I have at number 6. Coming in at number 5, you got one of the many blowout games for this team. You had the Seahawks 34-14 win over the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this game was really good. We saw a little surge of Derek Hall as he had that scoop and score for the touchdown. But, of course, that was a really good game at that. This game was really good. We really showed ourselves on what we could be if our team plays really well. But, of course, other than that, it turned out that Kirk Cousins is apparently washed.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And doesn't appear to do anything. And now, looking like the Falcons might start Michael Penix over Kirk Cousins next year, which is why I have the Falcons win at number 5. At the number 4 spot, you got number 4. You got the Week 1 win against the Denver Broncos. Now, it wasn't a great start at the beginning of the game, but later on, they would eventually take a double-digit lead. The Bo Nix tried to come back in that game, but couldn't get the job done. But the main reason I like this is we later on figured out that the Broncos were going to be a playoff team. And, of course, go one and done with the loss of the Bills. But this win was really good because, 1, we beat the Broncos. That's always good. Number 2, it was another good game against them. First game without Russell Wilson in their eyes. But that is why I have the Broncos win against Denver at number 4. Coming in at number 3, you got the 21-7 comeback by the Seattle Seahawks winning 26-21 against the New York Fraudulent Jets. Now, this game was really lopsided at the beginning. The Jets had the early lead at that beginning part. But, of course, once that Leonard Williams pick 6 happened, that turned the entire game around. And when that pick 6 happened, the entire team just got a whole boost of confidence. Of course, Aaron Rodgers later on tried to come back in that game, but they couldn't because we still got Aaron Rodgers' number. So that's really freaking good. And that's why I have the Week 13 win against the Jets at number 3. At the number 2 spot, you got the Week 14 win against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the other one, as I predated earlier, they beat the Cardinals 16-6. This time they put up even more points, 30-18. This game was really good. Charbonnet was going off in that week, and this was by far a really good game. The defense was able to get cooking against Kyler Murray before they would eventually lose to both the Packers and the Vikings that following 2 weeks. But that's why I have the Cardinals win against the Cardinals in Week 14 at number 2. And then number 1 on my list, the best game for the Seahawks this year was their Super Bowl against the San Francisco 49ers in Week 11.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
The 49ers will sweep the Seahawks again. The Seahawks, they had everything going right that game. Of course, Nick Bosa came out in the earlier parts of that game. They had one of their best offensive performances that they have had against a defense this year. They had 289 yards in that game, also along with getting an interception and also along with fewer penalties. His team and beating and ending the streak against the 49ers. That is another way to end it off. And the Seahawks, once again, go back to their own ways against San Francisco. And of course, the 49ers were injured, but we'll take it. The 49ers, they had a home field advantage that game, but Geno Smith at the end of the game was the main thing that sealed the icing on the cake to put him at number one, was the Steph Curry night. That was just awesome to see. I loved the entire complexion of that game. I loved the way the Seahawks game it got into San Francisco and got the win. And that was by far the best game for the Seahawks this season. But to recap the list, number one, week 11 versus San Francisco. Number two, week 14 against Arizona. Number three, week 13 against the New York Jets. Number four, week one versus the Broncos. Five, week seven against the Falcons. Six, week two against the Patriots. 7, week 12 against the Cardinals. 8, week 3 against the Dolphins. 9, week 17 against the Bears. And week 10 against the week 18 against the Los Angeles Rams. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think what do you think was the Seahawks' best game of the season? Was it one I had at number one, or would you put another game as the best game that we had this year? Let me know in the comments what you think. Well, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to do me a favor and smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Till next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.